in this LAN finals. They will be going up against Imperial very shortly. And even before we get into any of the nitty-gritty, even though we already talked a little bit about that as well, I want to hear from you guys. Oh, we're in the draft as well. Cool.
You don't get to hear anything, Sheem.
So I want to hear from you guys who you think is going to win.
Oh, well, anyway.
Who do you think is going to win?
Oh, who do I think is going to win? Jeez. All right, I got to hear you, Steve. You're whispering over here. There you go.
We know, really.
I'd have to say that Team Liquid, I like Imperial a lot. I need it to happen. But at the same time, I feel like Team Liquid has to prove something. They didn't make it to the major. This would be a huge win for them to be able to show people that they're back. And I want to see them continue in this tournament. Imperial, you're doing great, but I think Liquid's got it. I want them to win.
You're thinking Liquid then?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. After my 10-minute speech, yes, I'm thinking Liquid.
I mean,
it's hard to call.
it's very.
I think this one's really hard to call.
It's really hard, but we don't really know too much about.
That's the thing. The
Liquid, so
information's
it's
not
like,
here.
how much do we really gauge here? And now looking at the draft, I think this draft is going to be so important. Whoever gets the initiator, especially. I think like Owen was mentioning, like Hester Joe on these initiators has been super dominant.
And one of the heroes that, I guess not only Imperial, but a lot of teams are playing a lot is the Ogre. I believe that's normally what Noya is playing.
Didn't take the Warlock though. They let the Warlock's the pool and they took the Ogre instead. So
yeah, I'm interested if Liquid, and also if Bat comes out at all. I mean, I feel like if Liquid don't take it here, which they probably wouldn't, Imperial will take the Bat as their second pick.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't see any reason why they wouldn't, because they've got such good success with it with Hester Joe. And as I said, he's really just pulled out some absolutely fantastic performances. He's one of those players as well that his bat is relevant at all stages of the game.
Yeah.
He'll win the lane, and he'll also win the game 70 minutes in with some clutch kind of Ags refresher play.
I think the Warlock and the Warlock Batrider is a pretty strong opener for Liquid. It's something we saw like pretty much very strong heroes. But no,
hello.
So they're going for the Mirana Oracle, and yeah, they're leaving the Batrider open.
And the Warlock.
They take it.
And the Warlock, yeah. So
I mean, obviously already there is that Oracle there to put you off the bat pick.
yeah, a little bit.
But if there's going to be a player that plays around it, that's the joke. I imagine at this point it's probably his call. The team asking him, do you want to play the bat this matchup?
Yeah, that's pretty much what it comes down to. It's a player thing that if you really hate playing versus the Oracle that much, if it messes up your entire game plan, then you maybe want to stray away from it. But
I take it.
I think it's pretty expected.
No reason to kind of stray from the norm here for Imperial. And Sniper ban, again, something I mentioned earlier, you're playing against Imperial, you're maybe worried about the bat a little more than they were, but it's understandable why Liquid prioritized Drow, and obviously Oracle, OD already wanted Baby Knight's heroes, now they take out the Sniper, a second one.
Definitely, I mean, those are the two big heroes for Baby Knight that we know about, so it's like, I'm not too sure what other, I mean, I can't even recall too many others that he
Oh, for Baby Knight?
Yeah, for Baby Knight, right?
I thought they're really the two that he goes for.
Those are the two big ones, right? I mean, when we talked to them in initial, he was like, I don't want to play it anymore. Oh yeah, Shadow Fiend is.
He likes Shadow Fiend.
That hero doesn't do so good.
He likes anything that right clicks. And as in doesn't do too much else.
He likes heroes that you can get the rampage on.
Yes.
That's what Baby Knight likes. He likes heroes that he can take home the glory.
So
mark with.
What needs to happen for Shadow Fiend to work out? Because Imperial has picked it with Clockwork before, I believe, but they don't. That's not their normal style. Like, what's the perfect scenario for Shadow Fiend without a Clockwork in it?
I think kind of rewind 2 patches.
Yeah. Every other hero is eliminated.
I mean, these guys pick it in this patch as well, so something has to be their key factor.
I like that SD ban, but as you said, Fog, Imperial are a team that will still look towards the Luna pick even if the SD's not there.
Yeah, they really like having like the potential of having that basic push, you know. Luna gives you that strong tri-lane, or strong dual-sus tri-lane thing, it gives you that potential just to be able to push down towers nice and early, get a little bit of advantage of gold on your supports as well as other heroes that need it.
Dark, see a band out here from Imperial.
Yeah.
And Liquid, I mean, trying to think what was still kind of this big kind of Liquid bit. Alchemist is still in the pool if they want to try for an out game. Something that kind of works very nicely with Oracle, I guess kind of looking towards in terms of cores, but also depends on when the Mirana's going to go.
Yeah.
You could look to get mind controls here at this stage, as we've seen already a couple of the off lanes being banned out, so Imperial certainly looking towards mind controls hero pool, something that they're worried about here. And Void will be picked up,
hello.
which I imagine... I mean, I guess it could work. Liquid, are they more likely to play in one of the other positions, do you feel?
It still leaves the option open, you know? It's more than likely Mind Control playing the offline, but it's definitely possible to have it like Matumbo Band playing it. It's very good versus the Batrider through most stages of the game, obviously with time dilation being very strong. And okay, they get a third pick Warlock.
That hasn't happened in a long time. He's getting a Warlock through the draft at this stage.
And we did
Absolutely
see
not.
the core Warlock in the top 3 plays from them, so maybe it still puts that fear in there that it could be there.
I mean, he's a super strong hero in any team's hands, and to let Imperial have him, that's terrifying. However, what can he really do? I mean, Faceless Void is going to set up a lot of these team fights. I mean, sure, he might be able to break Chrono with an ult, but he's not really going to be able to catch too many people. Void's going to be the one who initiates on everybody from Liquid, right?
Yeah, but it's, it's the big thing, at least with the Warlock, it's not only the Golem, it's
the Fatal
super
Bond.
disruptive Fatal Bonds.
Luckily, they don't have the Mirana and the Warlock. We saw how horrific that can be.
Oh, yeah.
Fatal Bond's destruction on that, so...
Fatal Bonds with Aghanim's Mirana is quite lethal.
Very lethal. Okay, so Liquid, what else do they lack?
Morphling, I think.
We were talking to Matthew about it.
Yeah, we did.
You're going to play Morphling every game, aren't you? And he was like,
Didn't
well,
we tell
please
him?
don't.
We told him not.
We wanted some quick games. But he told us, he was telling us, he was like, you can still win the game quickly with Morphling. And I guess, if you find certain pace, we've seen games that are shut down kind of that 25 to 30 minute mark with a Morphling if he's so far ahead, you know what I mean? He's still nuking down heroes. It becomes very hard to play against. So, and of course, this is just a staple for Liquid, a staple for Matumbo Man.
Oh, and you guys called it.
Like we said, they're never afraid to...
You take the Luna anyway if you're Imperial. Ace is, I'd say that's probably Ace's best hero.
I think so too. I like his PA a lot.
He don't need OSD, he's an independent Luna.
How can you even survive as a Luna, though? She's so squishy. Look at all this team, this burst damage, the catch. How does he do it?
They just make it happen, dude.
Damn.
It's just Imperial things.
They do kind of lack a beefy front runner. Is that something that they can fix with maybe the mid hero, depending on if they go for the Warlock mid or if they need support? They can put something in the jungle and have Warlock mid.
I mean, I feel it's more likely for Imperial to play it mid. I want to
The core Warlock?
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what Liquid are more worried about, if they would rather.
The thing for me when I see a Warlock, or when I see a Morphling, is you want to pressure him. So I think that they might be going for something like with the Luna, maybe they go for like a pseudo duel / tri-lane aggro and then switch the lanes up after they pressure the Morphling a bit. That's usually a pretty good approach to deal with him. I know, well, not going to spoil anything, of course, but Matu did tell us he has some ideas that you can do in order to become more of an early game presence as that Morphling, rather than just like the super Lincolns, boots of travel, etc. He has these other different builds that he likes to do.
I mean, as well at this stage, I'm wondering if Imperial could look towards maybe getting something for Baby Knight. If they do run the support Warlocks, just so they can look to pick up another core that can help deal with the Morphling. Just get him on the Juggernaut mid. Get kind of a Manta Diffusal builder. And Jug, with the poor man, you're going to lane alright against the Mirana. It's something that could stand up, very hard to gank and can avoid the rotations of an Oracle. So Jug could be something in question. You ban out the Invoker. We'll see what they do take for the mid lane Imperial.
I just love how their lineup right now has like a lot of synergy with like everything basically. They have so much AoE team fight, but also they have like the potential to push and like farm out the game. So
It's going to be the core Warlock. It is the core Warlock.
Yes.
So Lion obviously very good versus Morphling, multiple disables, able to mana drain and break Lincolns if he opts for that later on. He also can kill illusions quickly. Just Lion's a nice hero that we feel like we don't see as much as we should.
Yeah. What a little lion.
I like Lion.
You like Lion, Shiva?
Yeah, what did I once call him? He was like he's nice to have around.
Yeah.
I guess.
Sure. I mean, yeah, he's a kind man. Little ears.
So Kuro's talking MC, so
Oh, jeez.
So you think this is more likely to be their...
I mean,
they can do Morphling, Miracle Morphling, can't they, in Matu Void?
yes,
That's something they've done before, haven't they? Morphling.
they have
Both
swapped it
hands?
around before as well.
And then in that case, yeah, could still be looking for Mind Control's hero.
yeah,
It could be a core Mirana and then just having a different support.
I mean, does that line kind of make you question this if you're Liquid? You've seen what you're going to be against as a Void, and you say, I don't really want to be in a lane against a Lion.
definitely makes it a bit harder to lane there. There's so much damage between the Lion and the Luna, obviously with the disable.
Mind Control's moving.
Beastmaster's still there.
They
They're going
know.
to get something like that. Mind Control, incredibly good on that.
They know.
Void or Morphling mid, and then it's Oracle.
But the
Oracle around is
Morphling mid,
good.
Void, safe lane, Beastmaster off.
Oh,
right
he's
now.
putting on the sick tunes. He's about to slam in those tunes.
Whoa! Into the chat.
It is going to be.
GH Chen. That is one of his legendary heroes.
That is
by
one.
the way.
Okay, that's another one of them.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Wow, this is gonna be awesome. When's the last time you guys saw Chen? It's been a long time.
I probably saw it last when G8.
There was quite a bit of chat recently.
Was there?
Yeah, what were we just doing? At the summit. There
there was
a
Chen
big
there
Chen.
too.
Yeah, Chen's kind of...
Oh, is he on his way back?
Yeah, a lot of the... Well, BP obviously play it. Probably the team
Who do you
that
like?
plays the most.
Okay.
Who are we doing?
Huh?
Who do you think is gonna win, guys?
I really trust in... I
gotta
think the
go
Morphin.
Imperial. I gotta go
You gotta go...
Imperial.
I'm gonna go with Liquid.
Okay, you got Liquid
Yeah.
Imperial. What are you going for?
I don't know much about Chen, but I'm on the Chen train. Let's go it. Liquid.
I think Imperial can do it, so it's going to be 2-2 here. It is over to
gonna
the
be a
commentators for our second series, Game 1, Imperial versus Liquid with Annie and Gods.
5 seconds remaining. Prepare for battle.
Thank you very much. This is going to be a very hype series, one of the series that people are looking forward to most of all the games happening today. Versus Imperial, we're loading in. What do you think is going to be going down this game?
It's gonna be some fun, you know. We got a Chen, we got a Warlock mid, got a bit of some different stuff. There's a Morphling, which I was a bit less excited about, since that goes back to the theme of some longer games. But
Yeah, you looked at me with some intense pain in your eyes, but I think it's going to be fun. Morphling needs, 20, 25 minutes to sit back and farm up, but after that, he can just get online and scale up ridiculously fast.
yeah, we were talking with Matu a bit yesterday, and he was joking like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna just play some Morphling. It's gonna be good. Farm and give you guys some long games to cast," but it's something a bit different. We'll be actually Kuro playing the Chen for Liquid, and Miracle mid Mirana, the Void in the offlane. So I guess mostly expected as far as their cores go, putting the Morphling in the safe lane, putting the Void offlane, Mirana mid. But Mirana mid, not a hero that can really pressure the Warlock. If anything, it's a lane where Baby Knight should do decently well. And we'll see him with the Ogre support do even better because of that. But Warlock is somewhat prone to those Chen ganks. So I'd like to see how active Kuro can be in the early game, whether he's going to be rotating a lot or focusing more on his own farm.
Yeah, starting things off, looks like we're just going to have a 1-1 rune split, but look at the aggressive wards popped down by Imperial. They get top and bottom, and they're not going to be dewarded just yet.
Yeah, that's definitely nice. The high ground ward by that top tier 1 tower means that Mind Control's going to have a much tougher time in his off lane, and this also just guarantees that Hestejo and his Batrider, I say his because he's done so well in this here, it's definitely been to me his standout hero as far as Imperial go, and they've done so well when they've had this Batrider. He's going to have a much better time with that vision advantage, but Kuro has some sentries, could look to play around there and deward some of them early on. Courier Snipe coming mid, Noya.
He's thinking about it. He's going after it. One more bop. He's taking some tower shots. Now Miracle. He's
Gonna
pretty
get it,
keen on
yeah.
this.
Good reactions. The Courier does move faster than the Boots Ogre and manages to micro it just in time to prevent that second red click.
Chen coming out of the jungle, sending his Hellbear after Noya just to keep him in check. This bottom lane is going to be interesting here. Hestejo, you talked about how great his Batrider is, but is this the lane that's going to give him some trouble?
Not too much. If he plays it carefully, he should be able to get some levels down here to some extent. It is nice being able to purge off the napalm stacks. We saw GH already do that once, where he just walked up, purged himself right in front of Hestejo. But until they get this, they've already got one stick on GH. Until Macha gets a stick as well, Hestejo is just going to be spamming away, and he can push out the lane, he can farm the neutral camps as well. I think all in all, this is a pretty good lane that you see if you're a Batrider.
This Ogre's been chilling around mid lane. Looks like they're trying to initiate onto Miracle now. He's going to be thinking about going in and spraying out some spells. He's got himself that Ignite, but doesn't look like Warlock's too keen on following up there.
Yep, it's such an Imperial classic with the Ogre. They just camp the mid lane. Baby Knight just does well in his lane because of the help. Miracle will get found now. And Noya's probably just going to go look for like the suicide at the Ancients or something. Becomes such a classic Ogre thing to do. And that Kuro could look to hang around and prevent that, but Noya's going to actually hope for like a regen rune or something. It's an arcane rune, which is actually not too bad. It gives him one more ignite in a second before he has to go back to base, or as I said, just suicide to neutral, since it is a much lower mana cost with that rune.
Down bottom, Hestejo having some fun with the Napalm. Is able to get 3 stacks up onto GH, getting him very low, but he should be able to heal himself back up near full, with just purifying flames galore.
Trying to bait out the leap from Miracle, since you can leap to dodge the ignite.
Yeah, I mean, this Ogre is just such a bully. It's something that Imperial have run often, that mid lane Ogre that doesn't really care
Bottom
too much
lane.
about experience. Ooh, it looks like they're going in, waveform forward, trying to keep the Batrider back. Hester Joe takes Purifying Flames, but he's still going to be all right. Low mana, low health, but no first blood just yet.
Yeah. Bounty Rune on his way home and perhaps get there in time to stack. Looks like he'll be a little bit late to get to the neutral camp, so unfortunately won't get this stack. Goes for it anyways. Says, I tried to stack. No, give me some brownie points for trying.
Yeah, interesting enough, both of the starting wards are still going to be up on the side of Imperial. They've still got really good vision. Now, Liquid also gets some good wards for themselves too, so...
Mind control in trouble. He's got no time walk up top.
Oh, there is Spike might spell his doom here. He's got 8 seconds to try to figure out how to get out of this. Luna does have the Lucent Beam to hold him in place. Looks like the damage will be there. Hex lands as well, and Rise actually scores the first blood. Now, that's important. Getting that much gold for a Lion this early on in the laning phase?
Yeah. Guaranteed. I mean, he's got the boots as well as the money for like the next set of wards, the upgrades. They can get the tranquil boots or whatever it may be. So, nice little start there, and just gets the Void out of the lane. He's got the Iron Talon, but doesn't look like he wants to go back into his jungle just yet. Knowing that Luna used multiple Lucent Beams, only has one more Lucent Beam in this lane. You die once, you don't want to just go straight jungle. You want to go back and take advantage of the fact that Lion is low mana, as is the Luna, and you can actually get something out of this lane now that they've killed you once.
All right, back down bottom, Hester Joe. He's looking for something, but his stacks are not going to be there. Already burned through him, and now looks like they're going to be trying to go in onto this. GH might be in some trouble as Ogre moves in as well. Matumba Man sitting back. He has one waveform, but he's going to be holding on to it for now, just trying to bully out the Ogre if necessary. GH getting super, super low. Can he actually get out of this here? Looks like he will end up falling. Matumba just left to clean up the mess.
Yeah, nice little kill there, and we're seeing Imperial do really well in the lane stage. You get the kill in the safe lane, the Batrider in the off lane now gets involved in a kill as well. He was doing well without that in mid lane. Baby Knight CS-wise is crushing Miracle. 27 CS, 11 denies to the 12-2 of the Mirana. This is, as mentioned, kind of a good lane for Warlock to begin with, and then with the Ogre's help, it gets even more one-sided.
Yeah, Warlock's got tier 2 boots. Mirana, she is unfortunately without footwear.
Yeah, it's tough times. I think, yeah, okay, buy some boots now, but ultimately not going to help him farm any better, whereas Baby Knight with the bonus damage from the phase boots can really just do well in this lane.
Yeah, I mean, mid-Warlock, we don't see it a ton. Of course, now that Warlock's back in favor, we do see it a little bit. It is just dominating here. Is that typical, or is this just Baby Knight playing out of his mind?
It's a kind of a lane-dominating hero in some ways, just because you get pretty good stats. He's gone for, the one extra point in stats. He's got the Shadow Word you can use to heal yourself and play aggressive with. I'd say Warlock, as far as the 1v1 mid goes, does well. It's normally just not played mid because it doesn't push out the lane, doesn't use runes. It's not really a natural mid hero, even though it has a lot of good matchups there. But it kind of depends like how well you can use the early level 6 and how well you can transition the
Noya
Warlock
walks
farm.
into the Chen army. I don't think he gets out of this one there. Arrow latches, and that's going to be an easy kill for the Oracle. They bring in the Void just in case, and Void, he's sitting back, doesn't have his Chronosphere yet, only level 5.5.
Kind of took one for the team there. That Chen rotation, I believe, was looking for Baby Knight on that Warlock, but by being there, by taking the gank, it means one less rotation going Baby Knight's way.
Under attack.
But ultimately, it is still a kill getting Liquid on the board. It required them getting 4 heroes, but not like it's a problem for Matu. He's free farming just fine, even with the support missing from his lane. Can't do much to get the Batrider out of the lane, but he sure as hell can do a lot when it comes to actually free farming this lane. I say that, he's been gone on. Ooh.
He's trying. Looks like we are going to have our Ogre waddling up as well. Is this going to change things? Batrider, he's definitely playing with fire here, just trying to bait out as many spells as possible, and now Ogre comes in on the back line, tosses out an Ignite, and GH just standing there. He'll be just fine.
That one, like, Matu was down to like 50 HP in the one, 17 charges, got him like back to full because he's gone full agi. He's just like, what can they do to me? They can't really kill me in this lane. Has the super high agi with the Quelling Blade, which means he can just farm super fast, and this is just a lane where he's, as I said, just going to continue to free farm away. Similarly, though, Luna on the Imperial side is free farming
mid
as well.
lane, Miracle could definitely be in some trouble here. Shadow Word doing a lot. He's going to leap, but it's right into the Chaotic Offering, and finally the stun comes in from the Ogre. It's an expensive kill, but necessary to keep Baby Knight in charge of this mid.
Yeah, definitely worth it when it comes to killing the enemy mid lane
Top,
early
there's
on.
going to be an Eclipse drop down, the Earth Spike as well, just to hold the Void in place. He does get off the Time Walk.
That Siege Creep saving his life, tanking that Eclipse for him.
Oh, they're going to go right back in, reinitiating with a Chrono, and they should be able to find this return kill on the Lion. Batrider getting super, super low back near base, but that was a very successful turnaround from Liquid.
Absolutely. Really, really nicely done. TP back in from Miracle. Needs to be careful with this one as Ogre.
Miracle?
Don't know.
A risky TP there. In fact, he might still be in some trouble. The Shadow Ward is still rocking through, and that's going to be one more bop, securing Ogre, his second kill of the game.
That's like worst case scenario for a core hero. Like if you die and you respawn, you TP in and you instantly die again. Because he's going to respawn, he can't TP the lane, he's going to walk his way out and do that walk of shame. It's tough times for him.
I mean, not only is their gold lost to death, but that's just a full minute where you're not farming on the map and you're not really doing anything for your team. And it looks like Baby Knight has securely won this mid lane. He is feeling very confident here in terms of overall CS, still keeping pace with the Morphling.
That was very, very worrying as far as Miracle's impact on this game goes. See what his next move is going to be. They actually get Matu headed towards the top lane to go push. I think they realize, like, guys, this Mirana is not going to be able to fight, it's not going to be able to offer too much. Matu, you got to go and pressure some lanes, kind of join up with the team. And Matu, like, level 7, he's not got anything crazy in terms of items, but he is able to push towers very fast.
Mid lane, can they actually get another kill here? That's a little too ambitious. Looks like Ogre just keeping everyone on their toes, making sure GH has to rotate to keep the Mirana safe, and now Hesta Joe coming back in, does have the lasso, but unfortunately no blinker force, they're not able to get on top of that situation like he needs to. Up top, more pressure coming in from Liquid. They see their window, they've really got to get the most done now that they can before this Luna and this Warlock and this Batrider become huge issues.
This is a full Agi morph with 440 hit points.
The fight's about to go down here. Chen gets stunned up. There is going to be a chain stun onto the Ogre Magi, but now that Batrider's here, he's going to be fire flying up onto this cliff, just moving around, looking for targets. Imperial, they TP'd a couple heroes in, but looks like they don't want to commit to a full team fight yet.
See what they look to do. Ace is actually in the enemy jungle though, so he's not headed up top just yet. If anything, he's looking for the Mirana once more. Miracle's going to be very careful not to go down another time. That would absolutely destroy his game. And on the side of Imperial, so their mid laner, Baby Knight, has now completed a Midas, so he's in really good shape as far as his farm and item progression goes.
Yeah, he's going to scale up phenomenally. And in terms of cores, we've got Imperial with the Luna and Liquid with the Morphling. Both of those heroes love to just sit back and farm ad nauseum. Who's going to be scarier if this game goes late?
Luna can kind of peak a bit earlier, whereas Morphling demands getting like a couple items before you can really be too effective.
Mid lane, we've got a Chrono coming in. Mind Control just trying to bop down this Luna, but is she going to get a chance to react? No, she is dead. Batrider looking to maybe get some revenge, but just can't catch up yet. Hasn't found his blink.
It's got Hero Seeing behind him. It looks like he's trying to bait. Gets the lasso.
Alright, there is a Time Walk available. They're going to try to use this Chaotic Offering to keep everyone in check, and the Fire will do the job. Nice Earth Spike from the Lion to hold the Void back. Now GH just goes in trying to get some self-preservation. He's going to do what he can. Moonlight Shadow comes in. Is there going to be vision? Is there going to be AoE damage? Well, it doesn't look like it, so the Oracle will escape, and now Miracle, he's sitting back. Maybe they want to reinitiate on this. He's running real low on
losing
mana.
a top tier 2 tower. That's a big loss as far as Imperial are concerned, and they're not quite. I mean, they're not getting this tier 1 mid just yet. They feel like they really need to get some kind of exchange to make this worthwhile.
And that's going to be a tier 2 top down, and this mid is slowly falling. They've committed the Chaotic Offering as well now. There's going to be a TP back in for Mind Control. Still no Chrono. Golem is going to be falling down. Batrider gets stunned up. First hit bash from the Void. They want to turn this back onto the Mirana. Oh god, she is so dead. And then there's going to be a flame break back. They're trying to get down the Oracle, and they will be able to do so as well. Void leaping back, trying to get closer to his base, but just hops right into the depth of the damage and Mind Control. He's getting back slowly, able to Time Walk, and it doesn't look like there's enough catch on Imperial just yet to get him down, but they should be able to secure this tower after all.
Yeah, it does look like it. As Ace is back in, Matu's just hanging around. He's kind of unkillable with the Replicate up and the Morph Strength, but even so, just not a kill they're going to be able to get. So he completes his treads now, wants to go for some more early game oriented items, the treads, the purse. He goes in any kind of like Dragon Lance or anything like that, but this just gives him some good early game stats. He immediately continues to morph to Agi. This Morphling is just farming away very effectively for his team, and has not just been like a AFK farming Morphling. That rotation top got his team 2 towers.
Yeah, definitely.
And forced Imperial to kind of react. I mean, Imperial, instead of defending it, they went for the fights around mid lane, so we'll see if they try and address the Morphling problem anytime soon.
He's farming up pretty well, but Warlock's still top of the net worth chart, and Luna has finished her Dominator and is starting to stack the Ancient, so that's going to be a big influx of gold coming her way soon.
Yeah, and that's where Luna can kind of keep up and even pull ahead of that Morphling, so Ace will start getting more points into those Moonglaves, I imagine, and going from there.
Warlock just going straight into that Ags, feeling real confident about his teamfight participation. The last couple of rocks he's dropped have been good. They secured some kills, did help push down the mid lane eventually, but I'm looking forward to those big 5-on-5 teamfights.
Yeah, and the next kind of item timings for Imperial, where they can force those 5v5s, is going to come from like the Blink Daggers. Hestejo is up to 1800, so he's getting closer to his much-needed Blink. Not a late timing by any means. We're 13 minutes in, so not expecting him to have it by now, but I think Imperial will be kind of quiet until they've got that once again. And by the time he's got a Blink, we'll see another Chaotic Offering available, so Baby Knight will have a level 2 ulti to go and teamfight with.
I mean, you look at Miracle, the other mid laner, and it's not going so great. He's got himself 3 deaths. He doesn't have a component of his Aghanim Scepter just yet. Almost ready to pick up that point booster, but is that really going to be enough? Is it going to be an Ags that's well-timed enough to get the damage into these fights that's so desperately needed?
It's okay. I mean, I guess Miranza here, I feel like it's never like too late of a timing for the Ags to be useful. It's just always good either as a farming tool or a fighting tool.
Oh, long-range arrow just bopping onto Warlock in the back lines. Now TP in, Imperial, they don't want to give this up without a fight. They're going to bring in their Luna, who does have Eclipse ready to go.
That's going over the trees but doesn't find anyone. And without that Blink, they can't really get that easy punish.
They're still moving forward. They are going to be able to find a lasso here, immediately purged off by the Oracle, having none of that. And now Moonlight Shadow to help secure everyone's escape. Centaur stomping up, just keeping the bat in check. Again, he's real close to his Blink Dagger, so punishing the bat now would be ideal, but Liquid know they just don't have the resources.
Yep. And Miracle's just getting a trade in mid lane. He's maybe not getting this tower right away. We'll get down closer to deny range, but he's at least getting some damage. He's getting some farm. He's just avoiding this fight altogether. He's going to perhaps go for this tower, which could be the death of him if he's not careful.
Oh, he's going to shoot out an arrow here, and it looks like they're just going to chase him. He leaps away. Noya not able to catch up with him this time.
So we'll get the deny. But Baby Knight, as you kind of mentioned, very close to an early Aghanim Scepter. Already 2 pieces and 500 gold, so just another 1500 and he'll have it. So he'll get caught. He will have the money for his Blink Dagger. So I'm going to imagine he's not going to hang around the air too much longer. And he lets the Firefly do its job to finish off that last Centaur. We've got Ancient Stacks you kind of mentioned earlier, and Luna may actually be ready to start farming these. Doesn't have the Dragon Lance, so we'll see if that's going to be the case or not.
I mean, it'll take her a while. She might need some help, but I think that big surge of gold is going to be phenomenal for Imperial. They're already starting things off really, really well.
Warlock's really good for taking Ancient Stacks. Often you'll see these like support Warlocks just come over, heal up their carry when they go for it. Core Warlock can do the same thing. Just give that Shadow Wave heal to your Luna who's trying to farm it up, and you do just fine. But yeah, Ace has got the money for the Dragon Lance if he wants to buy it now.
Alright, looks like everyone's kind of stalling out. Overall vision's pretty good. We've got a nice deep aggressive ward from Liquid up on this cliff in the top jungle, and looks like Imperial, they're not doing too bad themselves. They got lots of sentries popped around. They're scared of that Moonlight Shadow. They want to be able to chase if it gets real now. There's going to be a lasso up near the top rune, and they should easily be able to lock down the Morphling. He's got the Lincolns up, and they are going to go ahead, drop the Rocky's morphing strength, and just hops back to his replicate.
Now he's top lane. He's in a weird spot. He can TP out though.
He's trying to TP out. There's going to be an Eclipse. Oh, just barely not enough damage. If there were less creeps around, maybe it could have been successful, but showing off that Lincoln Spear with style.
Okay. Alright, that's one way you get out of a gank there. That's Morphling in a nutshell there. You gank him with 3-4 heroes, he even replicates to your carry, and you still can't kill him. He is one of the most annoying heroes to deal with, and he's got such an early Lincoln Sphere timing, at least in the context of buying all these small items. Like he's upgraded the Treads, the Aquila, the Wand, he's got all the small items to go with it. This E-Blade's going to be 23, 24 minutes perhaps, and he can just destroy Imperial if they're not careful.
Smoke in from Liquid coming up. Looks like they're either heading towards the Roche Pit or looking for a fight around these Ancients, because this is going to be a very hot topic. We saw Mirana go in, trying to take out the dominated creep, and they definitely want to find something here. Looks like Mind Control moves in, gets his smoke broken. He's going to leap forward. Chrono onto 2. The Moonlight Shadow comes in for the Radiant. Now Liquid, they're going to be sneaky about this gen. Moving forward, Waveform in from a Tumba Man, and it looks like they're continuing to fight up on the high ground. Imperial trying to run. Baby Knight, he's ready. He does does not have his ult, but he can still help out with the Fatal Bonds. Looks like it's doing enough to drive Liquid back now.
They could try to take the Ancients with the Chen creeps and the right-click damage of the Morphling. This is very obtainable from them. They even got the Vlads too for some extra lifesteal and damage.
Yeah, knowing Luna's ult is still down from that Morphling attempt earlier, looks like they're not going to get too crazy with it. I like this choice from Liquid. They're not going to try to throw any sort of advantage they could have found there. Hester Joe. He's just going in. Firefly up. Arrow will not latch.
The big thing for Imperial is they have no rock. Without the Carrick offering, they've got to be careful about taking any big scale team fight. They can kind of look for the pickoffs using the Bat Blink Dagger, and they also know there's no Chronosphere, so they're probably feeling a bit confident themselves. A team fight wouldn't be an absolute disaster, but they are going to be careful about how they choose that fight. And they secure their Ancients. They've got the Ward in the Sentry there. They've got Ace on the high ground. He's not even going down below that Secret Shop area. But he gets it with little issues following that Chronosphere.
And there's going to be a little bit of contest here. No deny on this bottom tower. Is picked off by good old CG here.
They know the Bat's coming in, and with the Oracle, they can immediately false promise the lasso, as we've seen.
Looks like everyone's just TPing out, trying to reset and go back. Again, Liquid doing a really good job reading this game in the sense that Imperial only want to fight when they've got Eclipse, they've got Chaotic Offering, they've got Lasso. So if Liquid can find them and catch Imperial without those spells, they can absolutely get the jump.
But now things get a little bit riskier. The Ags is complete for Baby Knight. He's got the ulti back up. They're actually smoking top. They want Matu. They know he's got no TP. He's actually got no escape up here. Oh, he's got the replicate. What am I saying? They've got to stop that replicate. 10 seconds left on it.
They got to pop the Lincoln and then immediately get the lockdown. They are able to do so. There we go. Can they keep him hexed up for long enough? He's sitting in the fire. He's burning the Earth Spike to continue to hold him back. And finally, Lion gets the kill. Uses the Finger of Death, and that's more and more gold going his way.
Nicely played. I mean, Matu's probably just thinking when his Lincoln gets broken, like, oh, I don't need to replicate out. It's just a Luna coming to farm the top lane, but it was the whole team yanking him up. And
miracle.
Really?
He's sitting here. He's trying to make some space for himself. Is this going to be the best choice? He leaps away. He's trying to move back. He's got a haste, so he will be able to escape.
He's in that position where you're under farm, so you kind of look to push the limits as far as where you can farm, and it wasn't even being too risky there considering you had the haste and the leap, and there was no lasso on Batrider, so the catch was very limited as far as Imperial are concerned.
Alright, looks like Luna moving into that Hurricane Pike, so she now has a little bit more going for her. A little bit more mobility. Again, catch on Imperial is going to be key. You've got the Blink Lasso from the Batrider, but there's also just so many more targets you like to be able to get on top of, so Hurricane Pike, good step.
And like you look at fights like that around the Ancients, if he had the Hurricane Pike there, he could have piked himself away when you see the Void coming in. You see that Void coming in without a blink, you know when he's going to jump you, but you can't get away because you don't have the force, but with the push, you actually can get away.
Alright, Liquid looking to mount a defense on their tier 1. They don't want to give this one up so easy. Again, Void sitting back with his Chrono, so Imperial are just going to back off and let this one go.
Both teams, I mean, Imperial are kind of at their timing, but it's an annoying kind of Liquid split push that's kind of slowing them down. The lanes are being pushed out. Nice job catching a lot of those Chen creeps at bottom.
Oh, Master Joe near the rune is going to find out the Oracle. GH pings it out. And they're going to go for anything here. Just Adaptive Strike onto the Bat to keep him in check.
Imperial can scale pretty decently with items, like the Bloodlusted Luna is going to be a problem, but they don't continue to scale like past like the early stages of the late game, just because the core Warlock is going to be somewhat limited in how much you can do late game. The rocks themselves will just kind of turn into food for Matu's Morphling.
Could be in some trouble here. Going to get stunned up. Flame break back into the bullies, and looks like he will end up burning. And there's going to be no response here. Liquid not going to rotate resources to try to save their Chen. So him and his creep's going to be going down. And this tier 2 is going to start to take some damage.
Can't even rise if he's back at the mid lane, but the Aghanims rock, they may be tempted to say, like, guys, let's get not just a T2, but let's try and go for more. Alternatively, they fall back for Roche. Roche is perhaps a step that they don't want to skip when in terms of winning this game, going for that base push. But it may be worth just threatening high ground to force the TPs back. But no, they're gonna fall back. They don't want to get caught up by a Chrono or anything like that. And
yeah, they see mind control up top. Again, this tier 2 went down super early on Dire's side, so that's just a lane that Liquid keep on pushing. It's a great place to find farm without going anywhere too scary.
Yeah, you're so safe there when there's no tier 2. It's like, who's going to actually be able to... No one can rotate quickly to that top lane.
Alright, Ace moving back on through, has 2,200 gold. What do you want the Luna to go for next here? Is this like mandatory BKB game?
I don't think you want to get BKB too. I think you're better off getting a Manta style for like the Morphling shotgun build. I think Butterfly is also going to always be a good item on Luna.
Miracle could be in some trouble. Leaps away. Noya still hot on his heels, and there is going to be a Moonlight Shadow. Dust does connect, and there's going to be a...
That's not a void.
That's not real. Oh no. Well, pings come out. Liquid know what's on, so Imperial just got to reset, collect themselves. They still got their big ults. Lasso's down, but only for another minute.
Yep. We've gone for a max hex build as well on Rise on the line, so this is very good as far as trying to lock down and catch someone like a Void.
Yeah, no points in mana drain. Do you think he needs a little bit of value from that? Or Chrono here on the mid lane. They're going to drop the rock. They're going to drop everything here. They really want to get the lockdown, and they're going to commit the Eclipse as well. Everything's going down. Imperial dropped everything they've got. Mind control. He's still up. He's able to leap out of this. Oracle doing whatever he can to keep the rest of his team safe. Oh man, we're gonna have Miracle getting low, but still alive. The urn's gonna stop ticking sooner or later. Will go down to Ace, and now they're looking for whatever they can find. Mind control cornered in the trees, is able to leap himself forward, but I don't think that's gonna be enough to get himself out of the sticky situation. Shadow Word coming in. He has the leap now, able to get himself a little bit more health. And is there any catch left? Imperial, they're all dead.
Somehow everyone lived on like small HP on the Liquid side. They stopped killing and attacking the Oracle because he's like, oh, he's False Promise, he'll die anyways. No, he actually healed himself enough that he survived post False Promise. Meanwhile, they went for the Void, who also just narrowly escaped, and they just didn't quite commit enough resources to kill a few different targets, and Matu just destroyed them in that fight. He's using the Replicant to fight with. He just has this Luna Replicant standing next to him in these fights half the time, giving him some extra damage, and not bad. Not too shabby when your whole team gets bonus 38 damage from the Luna Aura, so...
It just feels like Imperial, they've got these huge spells. They drop the Eclipse, they drop the Aghanims, Golems, and then what? They don't really have a whole lot of sustain. Their right click isn't really up to par yet. Luna, doing a good job, is going to go for the Manta, but just doesn't have that raw damage yet.
And they couldn't save the bat at the start as well. Every Knight on the Warlock did put the heal on, he dropped the rock, but wasn't quite enough sustain to keep him alive, which would have been a very different fight if the bat actually survived and managed to get away and come back in with a lasso after healing up.
How can Imperial play that differently? Just keep the bat farther back or space out their spells a little more?
I mean, they were the ones getting jumped, so once he's jumped there at the mid lane, I mean, ideally you never want your bat to get initiated on at the start of a fight. You want to be the ones initiating, so that's perhaps how they look to play it differently. You utilize their smokes. Vision is always going to be key. There's a Radiant Lane Ward, which helped give Liquid the intel they needed to get the initiation and make sure that he didn't get saved. But it looks like with the group up here, they are going to be looking for that kind of smoke play fairly soon. Warlock ulti is back up, and the big thing is just who's initiating on who. You want to be the one getting the jump if you're in the Imperial shoes.
Oh, looks like there's TPs up top. They want to go onto Matamba Man.
That's a shotgun, yeah. You want to go close to this E-Blade.
I mean, you don't want to get close, but you can't lose your tier 3s here. He's going to be moving forward onto Noya, just kind of threatening things out. Moonlight Shadow comes in as there are more TPs up onto the tier 3, so this is a great time for Liquid to strike towards the mid. They've got some eyes on Rise. Do they want to jump this? Looks like, yeah. All right, Rise is in some trouble here. Oh man, that shotgun does so much damage. And there we go, another adaptive strike, and he is dead.
Sometimes to be a support against the E-Blade timing of a Morphling is never fun.
Oh, look at that bloodlusted tower, dude. That thing is huge. It's anything. It's pretty much the only thing Oak can do at this point, because now you've got Liquid in their full push mode. They just want to go get it done. You got Miracle cleaning up an entire creep wave. He hits Q, and it's gone.
Yeah, with the X now a Blink Dagger purchased, he is back in the game, doing just fine, despite the bullying that went on in mid lane by the Ogre.
Oh,
now he can kind of return the favor to Noya.
For the first time, Liquid going in, approaching the Dire Ancients. That is not going to be good. Imperial have been getting so much worth out of these stacked Ancients. It's really crucial to keep Luna's farm up at the top of the charts.
And we'll see Luna completed Manta style now. Another 2k gold coming in and scouting this one out. Chen's actually going to lose some creeps here. Kuro not able to save the majority of them.
Up top, Matamba Man still getting a ton of farm here, just really high value in this top lane. That tier 2 went down at what, like 15 minutes, not even, and since then that's just been a really safe place for Morphling to farm, because like you talked about, there's just nowhere to TP in. I mean, now there's not even a tier 2 mid anymore, so if there's a scuffle going on in the dire jungle, you can't rotate Imperial heroes there easily.
I'm really impressed by Ace's ability to keep up and out farm. You mentioned the Ancients, and that really has been the difference maker as far as their overall farm goes, because Ace is still not by an okay margin on top of the net worth, and has the Manta style, so it's a lot harder to hit him with the E-Blade, and he's kind of guaranteed to dish out some good damage. And like a butterfly on top of this, I feel like he's going to be a huge threat in these team fights.
Yeah, I mean, Imperial lacking that right-click damage, but that Luna is still to come online right about now.
Yeah. You can see Baby Knight, I believe, with a sheep stick as well this game. Bit of an interesting choice with the ulti. I assume a sheep stick could be something like a Lincoln's, but well, Lincoln's doesn't really block like the initial shotgun.
Oh man, look at that
which,
Bat Rider. He thought he was being sneaky, but this Morphling is having none of it. That Replicate is still up. It's still crawling into the top lane, so locking down the Morphling here could be a nice play. They've got the Oracle there to bail him out, and it looks like Imperial want to play this one safely, but I mean, like you mentioned, Morphling just has a higher ceiling. He can play this game longer. If Imperial want to sit back and wait this out, it will end up benefiting Liquid.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And I think Miracle Invis swooping around behind.
Oh,
There you
jeez.
go.
Morphling just goes ahead and drops the Lion. Now the Courier is going to go down. Not any super crucial items on that, but still, it's something that Imperial now have to deal with. And seems like Liquid are just in control of the map right now. At least the top half is thoroughly theirs.
They see the Bat Rider too. They're gunning right for him.
They're moving in. Chrono drop for him, and that's going to be a nice easy kill. Oracle raking that one in. That's going to be 300 gold going his way, and
Should secure Roshan. That's why they're willing to commit a Chrono there, just so they can guarantee the kill and then immediately take Rosh. They won't be able to push high ground. There's a way pushing out mid, but without a Bat Rider, the threat of the Imperial fighting your Rosh is kind of taken away. Warlock himself can't really do it, and he's also visible on the map at the top lane, trying to get his level 16, trying to complete that sheep stick. Like, he's 2-0-4, it's kind of hard to fault him. He's free farming away, he's third on the net worth, but you haven't really felt his impact this game. Like, he's had a couple good fights, like he hasn't died, so I'm not saying he's played badly, I just feel like he hasn't delivered when you see a mid-hero win their lane as badly as he did, you'd expect more, but Liquid have done a really good job playing around him and not giving him good opportunities to use that chaotic offering in a team fight.
yeah, I mean, is that just a natural weakness of a Corlock, though? He's not going to be a right-clicker. He's not going to be something like a mid-DK that's going to dramatically increase your right-click damage or your push power.
Yeah,
He just got to get there and get the clutchest ults he can, so it's on to Liquid to keep him controlled.
Yeah, it definitely is just the nature of this hero when played in kind of a core role. If your opponents dodge fights, you're going to feel like, oh, I have all this farm, but I'm not doing much, and that's kind of where Baby Knight is. But all it's going to take is one good fight where you get a rock and like a multiple hero fatal bonds, and that can easily be turned around. You hit the fatal bonds on like a couple heroes with some Chen creeps, and boom, lots of damage being dished out.
Oracle now with the Lotus Orb, that's going to make things fun for this next team fight.
Yeah, it helps so much. Warlock's gone straight into a sheep stick. There's the Lion Hex, the Lion Impale. You can take off some of these hexes. He's now got 2 ways to dispel the debuffs. And that's, really good sign for him.
I really like the way Liquid have been playing this. In the beginning, it looked like, oh god, Mirana is just not doing so great in the mid lane, so Morphling, you gotta step it up, and it kind of turned into that 4-protect Morphling kind of strat, and you see that continued with this Lotus Orb pickup. It's gonna be really hard to lock down the Morph. How do you do it?
I mean, a Lion with a Blink Dagger gives you some gap closing capabilities, and then you can immediately Hex/Impale him together, so one breaks a Lincoln's, the other disables him, but Lion keeps getting picked off. He's just becoming kind of...
Oh man, this Luna cannot afford to go down here, but may not have much of a choice. There's going to be a 4-man Chrono coming in. Morphling walks into it, but that's alright. Just setting up, getting some thinking time for what's going down. The rock is going to be dropped. Faceless Void moving forward into the fight will clean up the Luna before there's a chance for her to ult. And now on the backside, it's all getting messy. Baby Knight is now going to be the focus of all the damage, and it's not looking so good for Imperial. There's going to be Lion respawning, wanting to get back in this, but Hand of God keeps everyone alive on Liquid. That is a phenomenal trade for the Radiant, and now they're going to go start to pressure high ground, and I don't think there's any way these racks live.
Yeah, it's not looking good. All that Warlock farm for a defensive ultimate on an already somewhat lost fight. That's rough.
That Rider goes down again, and Mirana's still alive. That Oracle doing all the work, keeping everyone healthy. And
yep, straight onto the racks. They get one lane. They're going to likely go for a second here. They know there's no rock. The Bat's dead. Luna's dead. There is a buyback on Luna, who has 5k gold, but her buyback alone, she can't fight into this. And That's almost just game over based on one great fight. Amazing Chronosphere from Mind Control. He was right with behind, and it's one of those tough plays there. Ace knows the E-Blade's coming. You have to almost Manta-style dodge the E-Blade, and he would have been okay there. Because if he gets chronoed without taking all that damage, he could have been okay. But he just took too much damage, slightly mistiming the
Luna
Manta-style.
just bought back. Ace cannot afford to go down here. Ace going to be able to channel out the ulti, but with so many creeps and illusions around, is even going to do anything. Ace getting just destroyed by the Chen army, goes down. That's a dieback on the Luna, and GG immediately called out. Imperial cannot stand up to what Liquid are doing right now.
That was a great way to end the game. They just hit. It's kind of like they hit their stride, but they just found that one decisive team fight. That's all you need sometimes in these even games. I don't feel like Liquid had a huge advantage. I think they were doing a little bit better with how they hit that E-Blade time with Morphling. They were finding a decent number of pickoffs. The line just kept dying, but it didn't feel like they weren't majorly